All right, do I have some exciting news for you today to start off this video? So check this out. Before I get into it, that's why I kind of have the Revv 1 sitting over there real quick. If you guys saw the last video, you would have seen that we took the Onyx and we took the Sur and we almost got bit by dogs. I dropped the Onyx, we bent the cranks on there. The pedal's a little messed up, but it's still fine, but definitely the crank needs to be bent back out or I need to find a replacement. These bikes got trashed. He also dropped this one. This one didn't get damaged at all. I think this got messed up and I had to fix this up because it was bent down. Other than that though, everything's good on both bikes. It's just really the cranks that broke on that part on the Onyx. But I spent forever. I was up until like 12 at night, midnight, cleaning these. And then I also was up super late as well because I did some modifications to some of these bikes. And I'm gonna be taking the RAEV e-bike, the Bullet GT today, because check this out. I put some badass white wall tires on here. They're actually the same white walls that came on the Spark Bandit. And the reason why I wanted to get these tires is not because of the Spark Bandit. I do love the white walls. You can obviously tell those are used, and this one's like yellowing in the front because it's kind of like a used bike for the Spark Bandit when they send it to me. These are brand new, but they still didn't come looking brand new. They still have some marks on them and stuff, so I'm a little bit disappointed. I picked them up off Amazon. They're like 80 bucks a piece. I seen how this bike looked at like a convention show or something like that. I don't know where it was, but it looked super clean with the white walls, so I wanted to put them on the bike. So that's why I'm just gonna take it again just to see how it is with these new tires, see if the comfortability changed, acceleration, top speed, anything like that. But real quick, the main thing I want to talk about before I head off to work, if you guys can see something in that basket, maybe you guys can, and I won't put you in suspense any longer. I did get the battery for the Revv 1. I know you guys are super excited. I just posted it up before leaving work on the group pages and on my Instagram, so if you guys want to follow me on there, you can. Now, there is some issues about this setup, getting this battery in here. I actually think the battery is supposed to be flipped this way because you can see I have a lot more clearance under here, and it's wider this way. And what's happening is these screws are digging into the side right here. So I think we're gonna have to take both of these screws off or grind them down and then just, you know, keep the outside ones because they won't come in contact because this kind of blends back in. It kind of like curves a little bit, so this one sticks out farther than this side. So we might be able to leave this one in and this one doesn't come in contact with anything, but the good thing is it is in. I haven't hooked up anything. The wires for the power and ground aren't hooked up, but the cool thing is we got it in, it fits. I'm super excited about it. So I'm gonna put this away for now. Expect this video to come out, I don't know, hopefully I'm assuming like maybe a week, maybe, because I got work for the next couple days before I can actually start working on this. So for now, I'm just gonna push this back here and let's take the RAEV Bullet GT. If I can push this back, it's getting stuck on the charger. Give me a second, we get on the road. All right, let's get on our way. We got it in mode number 3. Oh wait, no, we don't. We have it in mode number 1. We don't want that. So the first thing is when I get on this main road, let's just see if anything kind of changed on this bike after adding these tires. All right, so the first thing I'm noticing right off the bat, these tires are a little bit taller than the tires that come on it from factory. So it did make the front fender sit a little bit closer to the front. And the biggest thing I notice is a little bit of a decrease in acceleration. So the taller the tire you go, the more acceleration you lose, but you also should gain top speed. But I'm not seeing a top speed increase. I actually tried this test earlier. Well, it was actually like 1 in the morning at this time when I started testing it up and down my block. I pulled out my phone that I have in my pocket right now and I GPS'd it. The good thing about putting these tires on here is this GPS is like 100% accurate. Like when I saw exactly 28 miles on display, it was like 28.1. I looked at my phone and it said 28 flat. So this thing is actually legit for reading how fast we're going. But there's just a setting in the controller that doesn't allow you to go any faster than 28 miles an hour, which is a little like unsettling. I don't know, I wish we could change that out, but we can't. I think one of the company guys, he hit me up too on Facebook and he told me, yeah, there's a setting in the controller that will not allow you to go over the speed limit. And the thing I noticed about this bike in my review video, and then, you know, taking it to work as well, which I actually flipped those videos around, I might have said it, but I actually took it to work first before I did my video review on it, so I can have a little bit more experience with the bike. So if you see any odd things that I say in the last video when I took it to work, it was actually shot before my video review. But if you saw my video review or any of my other videos, you understand that this bike has like a pulsation. So like it's pulling and then it doesn't pull. So you kind of go forward and then it pulls again and then you kind of like go back. It's not like making me go back and forth in my seat, but you could definitely feel the power cutting in and out. That's something I don't like about the bike. Now it's gonna definitely help with like range and stuff like that. You should get a decent range out of the bike. That's not gonna be putting power to the bike, you know, 24/7 to reach like as fast as it will possibly go. But I just don't like that feeling. It's not really pleasing while riding it around. It feels like maybe like there's an issue with the controller or something like that, you know? All right, I was gonna go through it, but they running. This is where we got a flat last time too. I was not happy about it. Yeah, that guy's car is all done up, black and red. What happened to the black and yellow, black and yellow? We got all the cars out here, K-Series only. All right, guy, I see you. Only rock the K-Series motors around here. Gotcha. Now, I am a little bit less worried about getting a flat on these tires now. They're still bicycle tires at the end of the day. They're not very thick. They're very thin. Let me see if I can go through. Thanks. I know they're waiting for that car, but I want to make sure that car saw me going around because I'm not going to sit in the truck and sit in traffic. I'm going to go around all this stuff. But I'm still worried about getting a flat on these tires. But I'm not as worried as I was with the stock tires. The stock tires are garbage. I hate those stock tires. All right, cool. We're going to stay in the street. Actually, I'm going to go this way because I have to make a left, and every single time I get on that side, it's just all bad. People are gonna look at me like I'm crazy because you're technically not supposed to ride on this side, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna fit, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, oh dang, there's an accident here. Oh man, talking about, man, trying not to get a flat. I just ran over a bunch of car parts. Someone had to get like in an accident right there and broke their taillight or something, man. Oh, what a shame, man. I just got these things. I don't want to get a flat. Now, for comfortability riding this thing around right now, I'm gonna be real and say like it barely feels a little bit more comfortable. And I have them aired up to the exact same air pressure as the other tires. They're both at 20 PSI. If you definitely want to get a more smoother ride out of any of these bikes, I would highly just suggest putting them like at 15 PSI or 16 PSI. I wouldn't go super low. Maybe if you're a lighter person, you can go down to like 12 or 14, but the lower you go, you're just going to start losing range, and then when you turn, it's not going to feel as sharp. It's going to be kind of like washed out because the tire's going to kind of be flat. It's almost like a car. You know, you take a turn when your tire's flat, it just kind of wants to slide a little bit. It doesn't want to hold the groove. So that's something I would suggest if you want a softer ride. Another thing with these tires is that you're not going to be going off-road. Now, you can still go off-road if you really, really want to, but I would probably highly suggest these are not the tires for it. These are like straight-up slicks that are made for just the street only. But so far, so good. I felt like this bike is pretty much, oh my God. Why you had to get so close to me, bro? Oh. Scared me. What was I saying? Oh man, I've never actually had that close of a call, like with something that big coming close to me without me actually knowing. I didn't know he was coming behind me. If I would have had a mirror on this side, which you can pop a mirror on here, you could just take this part out, which I was able to take it out while we're riding, so you can see how easy that is. Normally I have to get like a flathead or something to pull these out. I'm just gonna put that in there for now because I don't think I'm gonna do anything crazy to this bike. I think probably after this video, maybe I'll have someone else ride it, and it's gonna be for sale. Now that I put these tires on here, I'm gonna give the person the extra tires as well, because I don't need them. I'm not going to switch them back either, because it took me like 30-45 minutes to do this job. It's not too bad to switch out the tires, but if I sell the bike, it's just not worth it to spend the time to put them back on. I could always use these tires for another project, but I'll probably just leave them on. I'll probably sell the bike for like $1,100 or something local. I'm not shipping them. It's too much work. All right, here's some stuff that you guys are gonna want to know about the bike as I was doing this tire swap. Now pay attention, because this is very important. It's something I didn't notice when I did my review video. Well, this thing turns pretty nice too, by the way, with these tires. Okay, it's a simple fact that there is a torque plate on the left side of the bike, which is super nice. It has a little Allen key that bolts onto the frame, so you can make sure that, you know, your axle just isn't gonna completely fall out, or your axles aren't gonna get destroyed. Now, it doesn't have a big dropout or anything. It's very small. I didn't measure it, but it's not big at all to do like a 72 volt on here. The right hand side where the chain is at, it has a little guard for the derailleur. That basically acts as a plate. It's not like a torque plate, but it's basically a plate that goes on before the washer goes on and then before the nut goes on. So there's only one torque plate, and it's on the left side. So that's something cool that I noticed, and the torque plate looked great. The bad thing I noticed is when I was doing the tire swap is there's no quick disconnect on this bike. What's up with that? It's something I didn't even notice, and I wish I would have put it in my review video, because that's a huge thing to note. So when I was doing the tire swap, I will say you do have enough slack to pull the cable to the side of the bike. And what I did is I used the stock tire and I put it on the frame, and then I rested the motor on that stock tire on the frame, because I had the bike flipped upside down. And it was perfectly fine. I didn't have an issue with it. I was able to change out the tire, the tube, no problem whatsoever. All right, go, go, go. But all I'm saying is, if you really have to replace like the rim, or you really have like, you need to take it off for some reason and like move it, and you don't want to be right next to the bike, and you want to have a freedom to just take it wherever you want, maybe you got to take it to a bicycle shop or something, you can't do that without taking the center part like apart. Now there is screws on the side. I don't know if you had to take the crank off or not, but there is screws down there, but you're probably gonna have to do that. And did you even stop, bro? Damn. People cannot drive, bro. Like, how do you even just pull out of a neighborhood and just keep going? Like, I can understand a California roll maybe doing like 2 to like 5 miles an hour. That guy was doing like 10 coming out of that and just merged out in the street. Man, dude, those are people that get in accidents all the time. Like, what if I was like right there, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, so that's just something to consider. I just really wish I would have put that in my review video, man. That bugs me. I have not taken the center part like apart. I haven't done anything with it. I don't think I am, because this bike isn't something I'm going to modify. You guys probably do know it is a 25 amp controller in here on the 48 volt system. I don't really like the controller they put on here, because obviously they limited it in either software or the controller side. I have no idea, but the limiting factor is what's really killing this bike. Now I understand they have to ship them at a lower, like, you know, speed, like 15 miles an hour and stuff like that, just for legal reasons. Oh, is that a squirrel? Oh man. And you have to unlock it, because that's just regulations, you know. Companies have to do that, and then if you unlock it, that's up to you on how fast you want to go. The company's not responsible for you. If it gets taken away because you're going too fast on it, that's your own fault. The company did not ship the bike out going that speed, so you modifying the bike is all like on you. I totally get that for a company perspective, you know. I totally get it. I just wish that the bike would go faster. I feel like it just goes too slow. But maybe, like you guys, maybe you guys think it's fast enough. Me personally, I just don't, but there's a lot of people that think 28 miles an hour is very fast for a bike, and don't get me wrong, when you first get on one and you try it out, it definitely is. When I got my Sur on and I was like going down the street doing 30, I was scared. I was like, oh my God, like I bought the coolest toy, which is hella scary, and then once I got used to it, you just want to go faster and faster. It's like having a stereo system in your car. You got like, I don't know, 1,000 watts. Then you want to go up to 2,000 watts, because you just get used to it. You want your songs to sound louder and louder. It's just like a car. You have 100 horsepower, you can make it 150, then you want 200, then you want 250. Then you just end up rebuilding the motor because you made it too fast and blew it up. It just happens. And then you go from an e-bike and then you go to a motorcycle. I've seen so many people do that. A lot of my friends, Gabriel, he had the Rumble Air SS V2, and it's a badass bike, and he went straight to a motorcycle. He loved it so much. I mean, it's basically a motorcycle. It went fast enough. It was like 55 miles an hour or something like that. And then, yeah, he doesn't have an e-bike at all. He sold everything. He sold the Onyx as well. So that kind of sucks. You know, like, I'm into it hard because I got a YouTube channel. I get that. And real quick, going to Rumble Motors really quick. I just said that, right? I said it really quick twice. Damn it. Man, I need to get my shit together. I don't know what's happening with the Apex bike. I have no idea. I ordered the dual battery, dual motor setup. I got it in like the Spider Tribute. So it should have like the yellow spring, the yellow brake calipers, and then it should have, I think, a black seat or something like that. I didn't want it to be like too crazy, but I don't know what's happening with it. They said they got their first batch and the second batch was coming in. And I guess I wasn't even on the second batch. So I'm just sitting there waiting for it. I don't know when it's coming. I don't really want to review it in like 2 months from now. I mean, maybe it's still going to be popular. I don't know. But a lot of people got them. So I'm just kind of like, I want to review it already. Oh, there's a tomato on the floor. That's a slip and fall right there. How much can I get for that? Like 10 grand? But I'll definitely still keep you guys updated on that bike if I find out any new information on it. And there's a company that Dylan Thompson, I think he was just reviewing it today. I think it's Max Fox or something like that. They were thinking about sending me 2 bikes and I'll review both of them. And I think I'm gonna give the second one away, but it just depends if they send them to me or not. I might give it to someone local because once I unbox it, it's just too hard to put it back in the box. So I'll probably do it to someone local that wants a bike. But hopefully they send them. I don't know. I'll keep you updated on that as well. But so far I'm having fun with this bike. There's only one thing I want to do to it. And I wish I could put some like LEDs on it. Some guy posted that he put LEDs all into the bottom. And I think that's perfect. The way this bike is designed, an LED strip all in the bottom right there just lights it up like underglow, like green. That'd be fantastic. So that's something I thought about doing on Amazon and hooking something up. I don't know if you have a USB port on this bike at all. It's something I didn't really pay attention to. I don't think you do. Yeah, unfortunately, I do not think you do. Some batteries have a USB port. Yeah, this one doesn't. So you don't have any power. You're gonna have to use like a power brick or something like that and place it somewhere underneath the seat or somewhere. But all right, guys, I'll see you in a little bit. I heard someone called out today, so it's gonna be a rough day for me. We'll see what I can get done. And hopefully it's not too bad. And if it is, I'll tell you guys all about it in about 10 hours. All right, I gotta find my boy PJ in the store so he can let me out. So let me turn this bike on real quick. Let me keep it in one so we don't wreck into anything. I don't know how slippery these tires are on this type of road, but, well, road, I mean grocery store. But they are slippery when you go around the corner very fast. What up? You let me out?
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
That's a new one?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
How much?
This one's, I believe, like 17 or 1,800 bucks. I think it's $1,800. And I put these tires on here too just the other day.
Wow.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's a little small, but it's all right.
How many you got?
I think I have like 10 right now.
Oh, shit.
I got 3 for sale.
Nice.
Yeah, man, you just let me know. I'm gonna sell this one in probably like a month.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
Thank you. See you later.
Yeah, see you, man. Well, it's been a day because, as you can see, our lights don't work in our parking lot. Now, the lights work down there, but for some reason, they don't work up here. So that's like the property manager's issue. But I had to write it down. I'm the manager. And, yeah, let's get on this trip. Let's talk about work really quick. And then we'll talk about some other stuff. Let's get into the bad stuff, other than the lights going out in the parking lot. The other bad stuff that happened is, I might have mentioned it when I got to work, but my closer called out, right? So what that means is my closing replenisher and checker, like the replenisher goes on the floor, they fill all the stuff. And they also, hey, there's a Same Our basket, it's not ours though. They normally check all the way until we close to 12 o'clock, right? So I was like, all right, cool. Well, she called out. I might have mentioned that earlier. I didn't really think too much of the schedule, but guess what happened? It was just me in the store after 10 o'clock all the way until closing. The only person in the store, it was just me. And I had a line of probably 10 people because, of course, this is the night that people want to wait and be like, oh man, okay, I got to pay with these 3 gift cards. I got to pay with EBT, and then I'm going to pay with this card. And they still didn't have enough to pay because one of their gift cards didn't have enough on it. And they just kept sitting there on wanting to take stuff out. And then they finally came to the conclusion like, oh, we got to call someone real quick and see if we can figure this out, blah, blah. We're going to have to take stuff off. And I couldn't refund it because I already processed all those payments. So what you have to do is you have to do a payment back to back and refund every single one of them. She did like 4 or 5 things transactions. So what I had to do is I just cashed the rest of it out because I had a line of people just waiting. People were mad. I could tell. I could just see it in their face. And it's just me. There's nothing I can do. So I did that. So I think that registers off a little bit. I did refund it, but it still wasn't like perfect. And then of course the lights that I just told you guys about. So it's been a rough day, like especially when you're just the only person there. I couldn't count the safe at the end of the day. I just couldn't do a lot of stuff, so I'm just frustrated today. But anyways, I know that's not your guys' problem, and that is a safety hazard right there. So I was thinking while I was at work, because after it kind of slowed down and everyone went home and that huge line of people finally left and the lights were out, so a lot of people thought we were actually closed earlier than we were, I started thinking. And I was like, if I put these Speedster V tires on here, shouldn't we get more range? I would think we would get more range, right? Well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, we're still at the same PSI, but I was at a full battery when we left work. I didn't charge the bike, but we're already down to 3 bars. So I'm actually thinking that's gonna be a no-go, because I think when we got back to the house the last time, we were down to 2 battery bars. And I think that's gonna be the same case right now, the fact that we're already down to our last 3 battery bars and I'm not even close to the house yet. So I was thinking about it, but I can already tell it's not gonna make a difference. I think the only time it's gonna make a difference is if you get some light tires, but you get some like hard like tread and like super smooth. Now these are super smooth tires, but I still don't think it's gonna do it. So unfortunately, my conclusion that I was thinking about at work is it's just not gonna work. Are they turning? All right, I'm going for it. I'm running. I pedal backwards, just so you guys know. I am a bike, I am not a motorcycle. I feel like I need to raise this headlight up just ever so slightly. I don't know how it would pop down, but there we go. That looks a lot better. Yeah. Love this headlight. Just no daytime running light, kind of sucks, but I mean, honestly, sometimes I wish you could turn the daytime running light off on the Revv 1, but you can't. So I actually kind of like the fact that it doesn't have it, but I wish it kind of did when I wanted to use it. It'd be cool if Revv 1 or someone in the community could come out with something with that bike that they have a switch, kind of like people did with the Sur-Ron, where you had an on-off switch for the headlight to pop on and off. That'd be cool if someone could make that so the headlight would just stay off. And I'm talking about on the Revv 1, not on this bike. You have a dedicated button for the headlight to be completely off. Because some people don't want to drain any type of battery. Maybe the daytime running light on the Revv 1 doesn't use really much of any battery, but it's still nice to be able to turn everything off on the bike. Now, some things I need to take off this bike. I did take the reflectors off when I was doing the wheels. I'm not a big fan of reflectors, but I never really keep these bikes, so I'm just going to sell them at the end of the day. So I normally just get rid of them. This front reflector and the rear one. The front one's not too bad. It's not really in the way, but every time I look down, I see these nice handlebars and all this stuff, and I just see a big reflector right there, and I'm not a big fan. The one in the back, I talked about it on the trip when I went back and forth to work, and actually that was like the first video I did. I think we talked about it. It really blocks the brake light on the top, so it doesn't allow light to come from the top because the reflector sits like right on top of it. It's still a very bright brake light, especially when you use the brakes. It gets very bright. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it if I do that. No. Yeah, can you guys see that? I better make sure I'm paying attention up front, because we already know what happened last time when I did that and I fell on the Onyx. If you didn't see that, go back and watch the video with me and my buddy. It was a couple days ago. But in the meantime, obviously I already showed you, we got the Revv 1 battery. I am so excited. I don't remember if I talked a whole lot about it, but the measurements that I made, I kind of made it a little like tall, like the clearance, because I felt like, oh, we can just kind of push the controller up. But then I realized I don't really want the battery resting on the controller, and I realized it's not even gonna fit. What you have to do on those cages, you have to take all the bolts off to the side because the cage, or it's called what, the center cage, something like that, the storage cage, it doesn't fully open flat. So if you guys have a Revv one with the cage, you're gonna notice that it only like closes this way, it doesn't go completely flat. So what you have to do is take the bolts off the side so you can slide the battery in. Well, it was still too tight of a fit because you have your screws, and the screws give off a little bit of clearance also. So what I would highly suggest is people shaving those screws down, or just go down to Home Depot and get screws that are the same thread and get a low profile. That's what I would do, so you don't have anything stabbing the battery on the bottom from it resting, because it's a very heavy battery. I don't know if it's like 20 pounds or what, or 25 pounds, but it definitely felt very heavy. I think the weight of my package says like 35 pounds, but it had a bunch of protection and foam in there. And then they also gave me some t-shirts, which was cool. So thank you, Powerful Lithium. Also, if you guys are gonna order a battery from Powerful Lithium, you guys can save $100 off any battery. So if you guys are looking for the Revv 1 battery, you guys can wait until, you know, part 4 comes out. I get it. If you want to order it now, because it's going to take you a while to get it. They kind of rushed my order, but most of these batteries take like a month to be made. So if you really want to get it, use the code and get the same battery as me. I will say it fits, but there's a little bit of modification you have to do. It's not bad. So I would highly suggest just ordering it and then see what I do in part number 4 when it comes out, which be a couple days after this. So just stay tuned for that. It's going to be super cool. I'm excited it came. And here we come, some bumpy section. Ooh. I can't feel any of the bumps in the back. So the rear suspension's working good. I don't know why anyone would want to switch out the rear suspension. It's working phenomenally. The front suspension isn't as good as the rear shock, because I can feel all the vibration up in my hands, and that means that the front suspension is a little stiff. The back suspension, like where my seat is, my ass, I guess you'd say, it's perfectly fine. The seat is also like making up a big difference too. I'm going through it. I'm going. Oh, hopefully they don't honk at me. I forgot how slow this bike is. This is not a bike to like get in and out of traffic. I said that many times. It is just not a fast bike. So if you guys are really trying to like go around cars, it's not that safe. You just stay in the bike lane 24/7. There's really nothing that you can do. When's this gonna turn? Oh, okay, it's gonna turn right now. Go, 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 Bronco. So look, I'm full throttle. Like, it's not terrible. It's just, I don't know, it's not a fast bike. I like it though. I mean, I would ride this thing for style over anything. Like, this bike is legit. Like, if someone just sees you cruising, especially at 28 miles an hour, everyone is gonna trip out on how nice it is, right? I'm used to going faster, that's all. So it's not a bad bike, but I would definitely ride this just to get some style points with people and start conversations and have people say like what bike it is. Like I said, my coworkers are always like talking about it, and he hadn't seen it yet. He just came back to work, and he loved it. He was checking it out. He wants to buy it off of me. One of my coworkers I was just talking to before I left. It's a dope bike, don't get me wrong. I do think I'm gonna sell at the end of the day, especially with these tires that I just put on here. I just spent 180 bucks on these tires, so it's gonna cost like an extra $100 if I do sell it. I would love to take them off, but man, the time to do all this stuff. 3 in the morning I was doing that. 3 in the morning. I know someone's gonna be in the comments saying you already said that before, because I'm pretty sure I did. My brain scrambled from working early today. If you guys ever worked at like a grocery store or any type of retail store, you would understand. It's rough, you know. But I'm out here living. Everything's good. I've been looking at Teslas, man, like every single day. I've been watching every single Tesla video. Maybe you guys have an opinion on it. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'm not gonna buy one anytime soon, but I know my smog is coming up next year on my car. I still can't decide if I want the Y or the 3, and I'm gonna get the performance either way. I don't care about if the suspension is a little harder. I've read about that. My suspension on my Fiesta is just horrible because I lowered it, and it's just on lowering springs, and I've been riding like that forever, and it's very, very uncomfortable, I will say that. So anything should be better than my Fiesta that I'm currently using right now for a daily. But once smog comes up, I'm not gonna pay for smog. I don't want to do it. I don't have cats on my car. I have a big turbo on it. I cut into the fuel lines. I'm just gonna trade the car in like that, or I'm gonna sell it to someone and try to get like 10,000 out of it or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really know what my Fiesta ST is worth anymore, but I think it has like about 56,000 miles. 2016. Super clean. Like the paint's awesome other than the hood, but I have the stock hood at my house. Once I move that, it'd be very nice because I'm blocking all the entrances to get to the back of our our yard. So our yard just keeps growing with grass. It's my fault. I got boxes. When you're a YouTuber, you think it's all good and fun until you just get a box. And then you get another box. And you realize that box with all the foam with the bikes in, that takes up your whole entire trash bin. So then you have your regular trash you're putting in there as well. But then if you get multiple bikes every week, you can't always put all the trash in there. So it's a cluster, man. I think I got like 6 or 7 boxes. And sometimes I just don't get to them because I got to go out there and cut them. And we're also sending 2 bikes back too. So I got to make sure I don't cut the wrong box and get rid of it. Because the Spark Bandit's going back, and then the Async bike, I'm just not doing a review on it. It's going to go back. Unless the company does something dramatic, I don't know. I got an email today about someone saying, hey, we're going to come pick up the bike, but they didn't say what bike it was. And they said, hey, is this your address? And I'm like, who the hell are you guys? First off, the person they mentioned was not even the right person. I don't even know who the heck they were talking about. But, I don't know, man. I could sit here and ramble all day. Life is rough here and there, but it's been okay so far. You know, I got friends here and there, but, you know, not having a girlfriend anymore, you don't really have someone to talk to, like, all the time. You have friends that you can reach out to, but it's not really the same thing here and there. And then I have people I'm talking to as well, but it's just, you know, it's not the same thing. And I'm not trying to obviously get in a relationship anyway, but sometimes I'm kind of down. Sometimes I'm not motivated to do videos like this, but I try, you know, I really try. And you guys are kind of my family because I read all your guys' comments, so I'd really appreciate it if you guys drop a comment. It doesn't need to be about this sad stuff now. It could be about what this bike, how it looks, what you guys think. If you guys are thinking about picking up this bike, I'm just curious, you know? Yeah, just hit me up, and I'll see you guys in the next one, all right? And if I don't get back to you on Instagram, I'm very busy. Just drop a comment here. It's easier for me to leave comments back to you guys on here. I'll see you guys in the next one, and man, these brakes are squeaky. They stop very good, but they're squeaky. Oh, there you go. There's the brake light for you guys. And this reflector that's on the top of it. Ugly, but we'll remove it. Oh, real quick, before we end the video, I got here on 2 battery bars. Same thing as always. We did the same route, 14 miles almost, and we're looking like the same. Oh, that's my neighbor getting home at the same time. She works at another Save-Mart. We all working at grocery stores now. All right, guys, on that note, I'll see you in the next one, and maybe I'll do one more video with this bike, and then it's we'll get rid of it. See you guys. True MVPs. Later.